Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here, and we're off for the finale of our Pikmin Squared Randomizer. Currently on lap 2, we are now actually going to go through the final trial. We're on day 27 out of 30. There is no way we're going to be able to fit in a lap 3, because we'll be stuck in the impact site again. We need to make 2 visits. That would be day 29, and then what do we do for day 30? We just full send one area. Even if we were able to, that's still 2 areas, plus the final trial. It's just not possible. You need a minimum of 6 days to effectively one-shot everything if you have open progression turned off, which you do in further laps when you grab the souvenir that is behind our base. And I'll show you that it is still there. Thank you, Gecko Code, for actually making this possible. Good lord. So yeah, if you're playing Pikmin Squared, just have that Gecko Code on. Oh, I didn't even realise what the weather was, but if it's just darkness, that's fine. Look at our masterpiece! Got a little party hat on our dome. It's kind of funny, though, actually. Anyway, map. See? It's still there on the map. It's still just barely visible and partially buried. But we're not going to get that this time. We're going to basically try and get through this as quickly as we can. So let's grab all of our blues. We just got to fight our way to the end. And slap the beastie at the end. And yes, that can randomize into other things, if it's like the big one or if it's a dimensional rift. Could you imagine that we actually finished on the dimensional rift? That would have been insane. It's ironic, actually, because since I don't have more enemies, other things that don't normally get randomized can't be randomized. Like, all those fire geysers could be randomized into stuff. Some of the foliage could also be randomized into stuff. But, yeah, because there's no actual enemies around here, or pellet posies, or even pellets for that matter, not many things actually get randomized in a randomizer, which I guess is the reason why they put the that bottle cap there for lap 2, or for further laps if you grab it again. Which I don't need, because I can't actually do that, so let's get our Pikmin over here, like we usually do. Yeah, just trying to fill in the space of stuff that we usually do anyway, that I've already discussed. Just got to go through the usual shindiggery. Let's toss them in. Ah, I'm just undershooting. That's fine. Grab as many bombs as you can, lads. Right, 8 bombs. That'll do. Just gotta make sure I get them across. I don't really want to be doing momentum throwing. I just wanted to move just a tad more, but I just couldn't seem to get that movement. Don't whistle them. We gotta wait. But to be fair, I haven't actually done the final trial in Pikmin Squared. So this is a little bit different, considering I have to wait for the Pikmin Squared shine on the bombs to end, so I don't do the Pikmin 1 GameCube whistle droppage. So I can actually whistle them like normal, like in any other version of Pikmin 1. Like I said, it's the best of both worlds, and I completely forgot that even though we've got less time, building and destroying stuff takes double the amount, but that's why we got double the amount of bombs here, because it's going to take all of them in order to get rid of this wall. In fact, I only got... It normally takes 3 bombs, I got 8 bombs. You normally get 4, don't you? Yeah, so it's giving me double the yield in order to actually take the wall down. But there's not really much else I can do right now, so I'm just going to fast forward. My blues are working on both the bridges, so it's not... maybe I should have full send them onto this one. Maybe. Our time's just ticking away, and we don't even know what the boss is at the end of this, because it's not going to be the Emperor, it's randomized. Unless it is, with the current settings I have. Not too sure. Is that enough? Yep, that's enough. I've still got 3. Right, so it takes 6 6 bomb rocks, because it's 2.5 double to 5. But I'm gonna not have my bombs there. Ideally. I want my blues. So I can be a bit cheeky on my throwage. Yeah, let's take him in the water. Because remember, just like in Louie's quest, you can technically skip using raids if you just do this. It's a Smokey Progg! You kidding me? Another Smokey Progg? Well, you know what? That's perfectly fine. Because that means I can save my bombs until it's necessary. What are my blues doing? There we go. Let me whistle all my blues back and I'm just going to get an army of raids, I think. And we'll just attack him through the gate again, and then we'll just blow the gate open. Heck, bomb rocks might actually do damage. I guess we could see if that works when he's, like, in the red or something. But yeah, I don't need blues, I just need reds. Let's go. I mean, that's what you would normally do anyway. Blues and yellows. Reds and yellows, excuse me. Black and yellow, black and yellow. Which I guess is more accurate because of the pale colours. Oh, wait until they all go in. There we go. Wrong button. I was trying to hold Y to get Pikmin out like that. There we go. Black and yellow, you know what it is. Alrighty. I mean, I guess the Smokey Progg's a good final boss. I mean, it can just mow you down if you're unlucky. The problem is he's already active before I take the wall down. It is a white bramble wall, but again, it has extra health. But these ones are normally the weakest kind of walls in the game anyway. Even weaker than the ones in, the Forest of Hope. Alright, well, this is working incredibly well. Speaking of, we did this in the Forest of Hope. Oh my god, the wall's being knocked down. I think he can bug through that. Well, at least I can target his head better. That means Pikmin can also get knocked over there easier. Yeah, I'm whistling them a lot more so they don't actually take the wall down completely. So if it gets knocked down to the next level, I think he can get over it. So I'm just focusing here. Well, that was good damage. Right. Do I want to try the bombs? I'm going to try the bombs. Let's get my reds further back. So I was thinking I'll use the bombs to take the wall out, but I have got leftover bombs here. I don't know if they actually affect the Smokey Progg. Oh, he did the roar to try and scare Pikmin. Dude, stop breathing. There we go. Kill him! That actually almost did kill him. Yep, well, two of them just ran straight into him. Wow, he's just going, isn't he? What if that yellow just takes him out? Could you imagine? Oh, he's dead now. And it's the easiest treasure to pick up in the game. Normally that takes one Pikmin. I'm guessing it's going to be two now, isn't it? No, it takes 3 Pikmin, apparently. No, wait, no, hang on. I think that treasure can only take 1 Pikmin. So 1 Pikmin's picked that up, I think. It's hard to tell. Let's do that. There we go. Actually, you know what? Let's stop that. Let's actually be nice, shall we? Let's get that to the yellows, because the yellows have been suffering. There we go. Yellows have been suffering, so let's give that to the yellows. Everyone else can have whatever. There we go. Might as well grab the food. It was right there. It's the only food that we can get. And our score does get saved at the end of the day. Oh no, that is the one that said that it needed 2 Pikmin. So normally that would only have 1 Pikmin carry it. Because it's that light. But hey, that's our ace in the hole, and we have aced this randomizer. And it doesn't get... I like how the final one just doesn't get displayed. Because it just happens to be something that doesn't get displayed. It doesn't even tell us what it is. I should have probably checked it. I didn't read. Oh, we did it! And even though that took me ages to actually talk about what I wanted to talk about for Pikmin Squared's randomizer in particular, like unique stuff, and show that off, which mostly happened in lap 2, which was in itself something I wanted to talk about. I don't know why you're standing on the ship there. We've actually managed to do it. We managed to show off lap 2, the big one, the PT Piranha with the Dimensional Rift, and I was able to finally fix the issue of not being able to load into the Distant Spring on later days during the randomizer, which really does screw over lap 2 and further runs because of the locked progression. Which I don't know why is not fixed, and it's just a Gecko code that fixes it, but if the Gecko code fixes it and doesn't do anything else, I guess just apply that. So for the entire... I might even go to, since I'm editing this, after getting past that point, because that was the point I was actually worried about. I also wanted to make sure I could actually show off everything that I wanted to do, so I was going to go for a randomizer. If it didn't work out, I'll do another one and record that instead. I think this ended up being 25 parts long. So I was still mostly doing a day per episode, except for when there was basically nothing to do, I fused 2 into 1. Just so it wasn't getting bogged down by like 5-minute videos. But it also spreads it out because at the time of recording this, which is... sounds so weird how it blasts off like that. This is like the 6th of July, and I haven't even started editing this or even having the videos come out, so maybe part 1 will be coming out as I'm talking about this today. So, on the 6th of July, so, of 2026. I'm just shooting flaming spores out of the mushroom. That's hilarious. But yeah, what an absolute mess that looks like. We can't even see Ollie Murs. But yeah, that is a Pikmin Squared randomizer with all of the exclusive things that it comes with, while showing off all of the unlockables for beating both quests. Because we didn't get to see it very well when we were going for the cake with Louis, because you're missing out on, you know, half the Pikmin. So I'll be able to have like the random colours as well as the random Pikmin designs on later randomizers. I do plan on doing some, maybe even with more enemies, because that's absolutely insane. And that'll just be a single lap, because that feels like Kaizo Edition cranked up to the max, except for the blindness, obviously. But yeah, 27 days for 2 laps. Kind of ridiculous. And yes, it does actually save our record. You can see it's actually being compared to our normal playthrough, which is kind of weird. I mean, I guess it's kind of how this screen works, but it does specify high scores set in randomizers will not be saved. I feel like they should be, like, maybe have a separate scoreboard for randomizers. I mean, again, whenever a 1.2 comes out, I've heard that they are working on making Louis' quest workable. I mean, we could probably do a live stream on to see how a glitched Louis' quest 1 works. I just have to go past day 1, which would be a good starting position anyway, because you have to have an existing save to click. Similar to how in my changes video, the very first video I made, I accidentally performed that glitch because I was just showing off that a built-in randomizer existed. So it's kind of interesting that. And it actually shows you what each one had become. But it only for the lap that you finished on, not the first lap. I mean, I don't need to save, but I'll do it anyway. And then it just goes through the usual credit stuff, because we actually beat the randomizer, so nothing really here changes. It's the usual credit crawl, which you cannot skip. It gives you the enemy roll call again, which I ironically enough talked about literally 2 episodes ago when fixing that weird issue where it kept crashing. It's also very weird as well, because I didn't mention it in that video because I've got to piece it all together and stuff, is that when I was tabbing out to look at, well, to check settings in Dolphin as well as just checking over the recording and stuff, when that error screen shows up, Streamlabs doesn't like capturing it very well. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's dropped to very low frame rate, and if I tab out, it doesn't display properly. I don't know. that's a bit interesting. Obviously, if I was doing direct system capture, it would be the same error console anyway, but it may treat the error differently. There's always a thing for that. Bit of a discrepancy. I do hope that you enjoyed seeing everything that the Pikmin Squared built-in randomizer has to offer. Honestly, now that we've fixed that issue with that one Gecko code... Oh, hello there. That's showing off the first-person view. Never pointed that out last time. I would say it is the definitive way to do a randomizer, because the first Pikmin 1 randomizer that we did, that was handled through a Gecko code, ironically enough. So it doesn't matter what file you choose, it just basically randomizes everything upon load. So it's always the same for that particular Gecko code. It's basically just choosing stuff to swap about. But you don't get like all the extra bells and whistles, like including white and purple Pikmin, including Pikmin 2 enemies, Louie's Quest enemies, including the big one, Beady Longlegs, or even Petey Piranha with the Dimensional Rift, the weather effects themselves. You have many more options here, and it's not. You don't even need external stuff. Ironically, you still need a Gecko code, but the Gecko code's not what handles the randomizer. It just fixes a bug. Hopefully that will be fixed in 1.2. And there we go, the happy end. I skipped the enemy roll call because even though the video is different to the original release of Pikmin 1, because it's got to accommodate for the widescreen, although they don't do that in the Wii version, we already basically saw that for... I just let the credits roll because that's obviously who made the randomizer as well as Pikmin Squared in general. So there we go. Another challenge actually conquered. I'm sorry that this took a lot of time to actually get to. Again, I wanted to make sure that I could actually go through one properly, and I kept having the same problem, and I got fed up, and I couldn't find solutions. If only I went to the actual creators' Discord. But then, why is there no information online normally? I shouldn't have to keep joining Discords to find the problems. But that would also make sense because it's direct communication to a certain extent. But yeah. And just because we're here, I'm just going to once again say that if I go to options and go to the final page, yeah, I'll probably want to have pale Pikmin on again, as well as early Pikmin designs, excuse me, so that we can actually have those randomized in later ones. I don't really see a difference in bait design or old Captain models, but I will keep deluxe plucking, so you don't have to keep mashing the A button. Honestly. Because all the other settings is actually in the randomizer itself. So, there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was basically the summer project, both Louie's Quest and the randomizer, although I did have a bit spread out more than normal. But again, I didn't know what was going to be happening with the Hat in Time summer event because it hasn't been... That's what I was trying to get to, mentioning that it's now the 6th of July. I haven't seen any date yet, and it normally happens during July, so... I think it just might be a rerun, so this would actually fill in that void that we normally fill in with a Hat in Time content. Another reason why it gives me something to edit during this time before we move on to our next full Let's Play project, which is our 50th. See you guys then. But when we begin our 50th project.